Now at 5, a Southeast Kansas community's leader clarifies plans for union workers on a city payroll. Plus, the economic discussion that brought the lieutenant governor to Northeast Oklahoma. And
Republicans are scrambling to come up with a new plan after a bipartisan funding deal fell apart. I'm Natalie Brand on Capitol Hill with what lawmakers are saying ahead of tomorrow's deadline to avert a government shutdown.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The city manager of Coffeyville, Kansas, says he will not be presenting a recommendation to city commissioners tonight about the city's relationship with local unions. This is KOIM News at 5. I'm Dow Quick. This comes after a letter sent to city employees received backlash from unions for drawing into question the future of unions in Coffeyville. In the letter, the city manager said he would ask the city to reconsider the city's recognition of the Public Employer-Employee Relations Act, a state labor board program that cities or counties choose to be a part of. City manager says he wasn't trying to stop unions in Coffeyville, only the state program.
Look, I don't want to just throw things down people's throats. I want to have conversation. We want to be better here in Coffeyville. And so we turned it off. As soon as there was a major issue, it's like, okay, let's slow down. Let's approach this differently. Let's have conversation.
Union leaders say they are now taking part in discussions with the city manager. In a statement to KOIM, one union president says, quote, "We believe this resolution reflects the value of collaboration and communication in addressing complex issues." The Lieutenant Governor of Oklahoma, Matt Pinnell, was in Miami today, where he spoke at the final Chamber Connect luncheon of 2024. The event was held at NEO A&M College to encourage economic development in Ottawa County. Pinnell spoke to elected officials, educators, and tribal leaders. One of the fields Pinnell says he sees expanding and bringing jobs to Oklahoma is the aerospace industry. The event was an opportunity to address concerns and gain support on economic development in Ottawa County.
Keep our homegrown boys and girls in these communities, but also help drive some more business to this area of the state, help create more sales tax revenue as well.
The event was hosted by the Miami Regional Chamber of Commerce. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy now for a first look at the weather.
Well, it turned out to be kind of chilly once again for us today. Temperatures, most of us kind of into the lower 50s. 49 is where we stand in Joplin, 51 in Pittsburgh. So temperatures, they're not bad, but we have another cold front that is going to be heading in for us as we go into the overnight hours tonight. So our temperatures, they'll stay up over the next several hours. You can see we have a southwesterly wind, but later on tonight, these will switch out of the north and usher in some cooler air. Plus it gets breezy again. We get those northerly winds 20 upwards of 25, kind of like what we've seen over the past couple days. The evening, not that bad. 40s down into the 30s. But again, late tonight, that's when our temperatures will slide into lower 20s. Pretty much clear skies. We may get a few clouds that skirt through, but overall, that's it. Now, we do have some rain chances in the forecast. We're going to look at that here in just a bit.
See you soon. The clock is ticking toward a possible government shutdown after a bipartisan deal to keep it open fell apart yesterday. The shutdown will take effect tomorrow night at midnight if no deal can be reached. Now lawmakers are trying to figure out a new way forward. Natalie Brand has more details from Capitol Hill.
Less than 24 hours after a bipartisan deal unraveled, Republicans are divided over how to move forward.
This is a situation created by Mike Johnson and his leadership team, who clearly failed to coordinate with President Trump, failed to coordinate with their own members, created this bill that's a disaster.
President-elect Donald Trump upended the initial agreement late Wednesday. He told CBS News' Robert Costa that the bill included too many concessions for Democrats, and he now says that he'll oppose any deal that doesn't remove a law limiting how much money the federal government can borrow. House Democrats say this is a problem of the Republicans' own making.
We are prepared to move forward with the bipartisan agreement that we thought was negotiated in good faith with House Republicans, along with Senate Democrats and Senate Republicans.
While some Republicans are calling for a narrow stopgap measure to avoid a shutdown, others are insisting $100 billion in disaster relief must be included.
We're talking about a possible government shutdown here in Washington. Well, there are parts of this country that have been affected by the storm who are effectively shut down. And until we fund them, they have no hope.
The latest funding fight also has some Republicans raising questions about Mike Johnson's future as House Speaker.
This is what you get with Mike Johnson. You get total capitulation.
The new Congress will vote for House Speaker January 3rd. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Trump told Fox News that Johnson can stay Speaker of the House if he acts decisively and tough. Luigi Mangione, the suspect in the murder of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson, waived his right to an extradition hearing and was flown from Pennsylvania to New York today. He was charged today with 4 federal crimes. This is in addition to the 11 charges he already faces in New York, including first-degree murder and furtherance of terrorism. The federal charges are significant because they open the possibility of the death penalty. The FAA has issued a ban on flying drones in parts of New Jersey until January 17th without special permission from the government due to, quote, special security reasons. The rule applies to areas now deemed national defense airspace. Despite this new rule, officials have said there is no evidence the drones spotted recently pose any kind of threat. Still ahead, settling down for a long winter's nap.
From taking supplements to taping mouths shut, I'm Cristian Benavides in Miami with the lengths some Gen Zers are going to make sure they get a good night's sleep.
Plus, a new report on life expectancy in the U.S. Those stories next in Health. Topping today's Health Watch, life expectancy in the U.S. is up and at its highest level since before the COVID-19 pandemic. New CDC data shows Americans are living an average of 78.4 years. That's an increase of more than a year since 2022. The data also shows drug overdoses dropped 4% in 2023. That's the first decline since 2018. Microplastics in the air could be causing respiratory and other illnesses. A study by UC San Francisco looked at the impact tiny particles of tires and degrading garbage have on air pollution. It found a connection between microplastics and infertility, colon cancer, and poor lung function. Most of the research was done on animals, so additional testing is needed. The age of 10 is a critical time for children to develop good heart health. A new study out of Harvard finds cardiovascular health starts to decline as early as age 10 due to diet, physical activity, and other factors leading to high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and obesity. Doctors say it's critical to improve behaviors of kids early as it can affect their cardiovascular health later in life. Young adults appear to be prioritizing their sleep more than older generations. Cristian Benavides looks at the lengths some are going to achieve a good night's sleep.
Camilla Charles, a college senior in Florida, is among the millions of young adults who are now prioritizing their sleep routine in order to catch more Z's.
Magnesium, I go to sleep, do my skincare. I'll put my hair, if it straightens, I'll put it in little rollers.
It's part of a trend known as sleep maxing, maximizing the time it takes to do your routine before going to bed so you can get more hours of sleep.
Trying to figure out what works for me, actually, because it is hard.
A room is dark. No television on, no nothing. You gotta be quiet, man. And freezing cold in my room.
One recent analysis found Gen Zers spend more time sleeping than any other generation. That same survey showed they also spent more time exercising and prioritizing self-care than others.
You just want to make the quality better, which is a good thing. So it's a concept of health versus illness. Optimizing your health versus not the absence of illness. So same thing with sleeping. Even though they may be considered good sleepers overall, they want to make their sleep even better yet.
While Gen Zers may be prioritizing sleep, a survey of all Americans found a majority, 57%, said they would feel better if they got more sleep. The American Academy of Sleep Medicine recommends 7 or 8 hours.
I slept so good.
On social media, some young people are going as far as taping their mouths shut, along with using nostril expanders.
A lot of things people do that are not necessarily evidence-based.
Dr. Rafael Pelayo with Stanford University warns against obsessing over those popular sleep trackers on smartphones. And if you're having trouble sleeping, it's best to consult your doctor. Cristian Benavides, CBS News, Miami.
The Mayo Clinic recommends sticking to a sleep schedule, paying attention to what you eat, and creating a restful environment. And that is a look at today's health news. Later advice for families still looking to buy a Christmas tree.
Plus, we have rain chances that are re-entering the forecast. We're going to look at that. Well, it turned out to be a little bit warmer for us today than what we did see yesterday. Most of us got into the 50s during the afternoon hours. Looks good right now. Nice shot of our Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Indigo is just outside of Seneca, Missouri. But clear skies, we're going to get a few passing clouds working through later on tonight. All right, so it's Thursday. On Thursday, our drought tracker, it updates, and this has been looking a lot better. Remember what it looked like just a couple months ago in October. So really most of the area is just dry. Still a little bit of a moderate drought in some of our Missouri counties. Besides that, looking a lot better because we've gotten rain over the past couple months. Look at the Arctic air to our north. So a cold front is surging in, and this is going to really cool us down late tonight. Temperatures, they're not bad right now. Upper 40s to lower 50s. We'll have a slow drop as we go through the evening hours. 49 southerly winds at about 5 to 10 across the region. Through the evening hours, looks fine. Slowly drop through the 40s down to 39 by midnight, but after midnight, that's when our cold front rushes in, and that's when our winds are going to start to pick up. So we have a southwesterly wind at this point in time, but they're going to crank around out of the north, get moving again. Winds gusting 20, 25 miles per hour at times by tomorrow morning. They come down a little bit late tomorrow, and then they're going to go back up once we get into Wednesday. All right, clear skies, not a whole bunch going on here. We can back out just a bit. You got snow across the Great Lakes. We have another storm system already moving into the Pacific Northwest, so it is going to start to get really active as we go through the next week or so. Let me walk you through time. Tonight, cold, lower 20s as we go into the morning hours. By noon, only about freezing. During the afternoon, I think most of us 36 or 37 degrees. So quite a bit colder than what we are seeing today. Tomorrow night, another cold one. We drop back near 20 for an overnight low. Let's go into your weekend. Saturday, a little bit better. We get back into the mid 40s for afternoon highs. Here's your day planner on Friday, 24 in the morning, 31 by noon. High temp, 37 degrees. Then we get a lot of changes. Our pattern really picks up next week. Still fairly quiet over the next couple days. Then we get this weird disorganized storm system on Monday into Tuesday, a little stronger wave. And then look at this. It's just system after system as we go really getting into Christmas and right after. So if you are traveling next week, here's what you can expect as of now. Rain. This is Monday evening into Tuesday. Of course, Tuesday is Christmas Eve. Periods of rain even into Wednesday morning. So you're going to wake up to a wet Christmas. This rain exits by Wednesday afternoon. Let's go into Thursday. Another band of showers pushing through the region during the day. So a lot to watch as we get into next week. We don't have any cold air, so we don't have to worry about snow, but we do have to worry about the rain. All right, 37 tomorrow, 46 Saturday, 52 on Sunday. Big warm up, upper 50s for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. It really all next week is pretty mild, just chances for rain just about every single day.
Okay, travelers will have to stay aware.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Doug. Neosho, Missouri man is soon to be a century old. Homer LeJour is not only being celebrated for his age, but for the sacrifice he made for our country. LeJour is surrounded by family, care providers from the VA, and a few local active military members who took time to speak with Homer and share their stories.
The Lord spared me, gave me the time to spend here, and I hope I've done what he had in mind for me to do. If I've accomplished that, then I'm a happy trooper.
LeJour's birthday is actually December 25th. He says he couldn't ask for a better way to celebrate. Just ahead, an update on the legal battle surrounding TikTok. Topping today's Consumer Watch, some big news for a big nationally known brick and mortar business right here in the 4 states. Today, Big Lots announced a previously planned sale agreement has fallen through. The company does, however, say it continues to work on an alternative sale by early next month. In the meantime, the company will begin going out of business sales at all remaining store locations to protect its estate's value. Big Lots has stores in both Joplin and Pittsburgh. Bath and Body Works began work on a new location in Pittsburgh today. Work crews on the scene say they're doing a rebuild of the interior of the former Yummy Buffet. Bath and Body Works in Pittsburgh says it plans to open in early 2025. Some hope for TikTok users. The U.S. Supreme Court has agreed to hear arguments in an emergency challenge to the federal law that would ban the popular app on January 19th if Chinese parent company ByteDance doesn't sell it. That hearing is set for January 10th. Frito-Lay is recalling some 13-ounce bags of its classic potato chips. Food and Drug Administration says some products distributed in Oregon and Washington State with a fresh buy date of February 11, 2025, might contain undeclared milk, which could cause life-threatening reactions for those with severe milk sensitivities or allergies. No other Lay's products are affected by that recall. If you procrastinated and didn't get a Christmas tree yet, well, there are still real trees available. And how much you pay could depend on where you shop. Christine Lazar explains.
Millions of people will have at least one real or artificial tree in their home this year, and the American Christmas Tree Association says it's probably costing more.
Like all consumer goods, Christmas trees are not immune to inflation. So we might see an 8 to 10% increase in both live and artificial trees this year.
Noble fir. Absolutely. Tina Callis of Tina's Trees in Southern California says she has not raised prices on her trees under 8 feet this year. She charges $74 for a 6 to 7 foot Douglas fir, which is typically your most affordable species because it grows the fastest. The noble fir is also very popular at $126 for a 6 to 7 footer.
Out the door. No. Plus tax.
Okay.
But also the stands are additional.
We traveled to several lots and discovered similar prices. But the best deals we found were at big box stores. People lined up at a Costco for a 6-foot Douglas fir for $49.99. The Home Depot had the same tree for $54.98. But the owner of Santa & Sons says his trees are more expensive because they're fresher.
It's a fuller tree that's grown with more care, and so it's a higher grade tree, a higher quality tree.
Regardless of where it comes from, experts say your tree will look the best and last the longest if you give it a gallon of water a day. Christine Lazar, CBS News, Los Angeles.
A gallon a day. A final check of the forecast next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, reporting from Alaska's North Pole to meet some of Santa's helpers working to deliver gifts to the most remote areas of the U.S. Then on KOIM News at 6, a closer look at the Coffeyville policy concerning union workers. Plus, more on the conference on the Ottawa County economy. And Pitt State women's basketball travels to South Florida for a non-conference game. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOIM News at 6.
Bring some right here. Good tidings.
The students from Southwest City Elementary in McDonald County are embracing the spirit of giving this holiday season. 3rd through 5th graders took to Main Street in Southwest City for some Christmas caroling. Teachers say this might be the only chance for some students to participate in a holiday tradition that connects them with their neighbors and the season's true meaning.
I love seeing the students get out of the classroom and interacting with the people in the community. They just love it so much, and they enjoy walking around and seeing everybody. So the students love it.
They're not the only ones. Leaders and business leaders say they loved how the students conducted themselves throughout the event. Beautiful singing as well. So weather, a bit of a mixed bag out there, huh?
Yeah, temperatures kind of up and down. We go down tomorrow, a high of only 37, back into the 50s as we hit the weekend. Then several chances for rain moving in as we get into next week.
Thanks, Doug, and thank you for joining us. CBS Evening News is next. And of course, we're going to be right back here for KOIM News at 6. We'll see you then. Let's make it a great evening.